Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for uh, a life on a holiday. For me, it is. With me today is Davide. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, thanks. Yeah, it's a holiday for me too. So
Okay. Yeah, I was just because it's a day off for everyone over here. But I'm
not everyone here. It depends.
okay.
It's federally recognized, but not necessarily provincially recognized. So sometimes it depends. Just depends where you work and who you work for. Sometimes
Okay.
it's a weird one. Like
Yeah.
the Friday, everyone gets off, but Monday is kind of a toss-up.
Yeah. We Friday is not an off day for us, so it's different.
Oh, okay,
So it's
all right.
Monday for us. So
Well,
just
there you
checking.
go. We all do it a bit different.
Yeah, I want to ask you how was your weekend? Just forget about the UV game for a while.
Well, I
So
wasn't even going to talk about the Juve game. Yeah, that was like 2 hours of something else. But uh, no, it's good. It was just quiet. You know, not a big deal. No family or anything. Just me and the wife. But it's gardening season. The weather's actually nice out these parts for a change. So yeah, built some flower boxes, getting ready to grow my tomatoes. How about you?
it was good. It was kind of warm for not for a change, but like it's warm. It's okay. So that's good on a free day, on a few free days. Um, Romanov is saying 4 days free in Sweden. Yeah, that's Sweden. We don't have that over here. We don't have 4 days, but I wish we had. Um, but yeah, back to the topical stuff. Um, so we will talk about the Coppa Italia, obviously, because that's on Wednesday. We will talk a bit about Zaniolo, because that's kind of topical, and we will talk about what else did I say? I sent you something. I forgot. It will come up.
Yeah, Fajoli,
Oh,
keep the transfer.
Fajoli, yeah, that one. We will start off with the main one. Wait,
Big Z, is that the big one?
no.
No, I was just kidding.
The main
No,
one is the Coppa Italia because okay, we draw points on Saturday,
yeah.
like points we weren't allowed to drop. Like again, you're never allowed to drop points, but not at home against Bologna when you're fighting for top four. It's just not allowed. Um, I had my say on the game twice, so you can go now. What was your feeling after that game?
It was bad. Yeah, it was another really bad one. And I hate to come off like you know how I am. I like to be a
Yeah,
little bit more positive about things. This was just another one of those where it's hard to really pick apart the positives, and you can. There definitely are a couple key moments. We did scrap a point out of it, positives, but overall, it's a bit of an embarrassment. I don't know what else there's to say. Like it's getting old essentially because I'm gonna be repeating myself. We've all been repeating ourselves. It was slow. It was drawn out. It was lethargic. It was sleepwalking to repeat Justin's words from a few weeks ago. So
yeah,
there it is.
yeah. That was one of the worst games. Again, we have a lot of worst games. Like we say that often, but like I think this is up there because
It's
we had
it
absolutely
is.
not. We had zero shots on target in the first half, and up to that goal from Bologna, we had nothing. Like it was, like you could feel it. It was in the air that we were gonna concede at some point, just because we were giving the ball to Bologna and we were not doing anything when we had that ball at all.
Yeah.
I was planning to do a podcast with Julian, but then something happened, so it's not gonna happen. But I had some good pictures to show. I'm not gonna do it tonight because I don't know. I'm not saying it's pointless, but like during a live, it will
It's a
get
bit
boring.
harder. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem on Saturday was so obvious. It was like we were so static, and usually we are static. We are a static team because that's who we are, like the way we play. But on Sunday, it was next level. It was actually
Nothing
insane.
happened.
It was
Nothing was happening at all.
no the player in possession. He had no idea where to go with the ball. Like no idea, unless he wanted to keep it simple. Other than that, there was nothing. Like Bonucci came on and he was giving the ball away at the beginning for fun. Um, This was nobody was making a run. Like everything was static. We were who
Vlahovic
wasn't
was trying to make a run, but nothing was going there.
like our players were so far apart from the player in possession that it was impossible to actually create anything or to set up anything. Like it's not possible. It was slow, and like I said, it was static. It was at some point Vlahovic was taking shots from positions like a normal player will not. Like nobody's taking shots from that position, and he was taking shots from that position, and he was frustrating. Like when the camera zoomed in on him, he was like, "Yeah, I took a shot. It's a crap shot, but I don't care. Like if you're not giving the ball to me, I'm just going to just doing this, picking up the ball at midfield and just booting it out of the stadium."
Yeah.
And
Which is what you're gonna want to do. Yeah, you got to do something, right? If nothing's happening.
yeah, and when he scored that
Yeah,
goal,
just
it was pure frustration. After that goal, he was yelling. I don't know what towards but he was frustrated. Like it was like, this ain't it,
because he was the only one doing anything.
Yeah. And Hassa say, I think he's trying to piss me even off even more. He's saying we need a player like Bruno Fernandes who consistently tries to create something. I don't want a Bruno Fernandes. Like he spams crosses, passes all over the place. Yeah, it comes off. Like it should come off. If you try 100 times during a game, like at one point it's gonna come off. But he's horrendous to watch. I'm sorry. Like I cannot watch. Bruno Fernandes play football. I know what he's trying to mean. I know what he means, but I cannot watch Bruno Fernandes play football.
Yeah, we need somebody that's a creator.
I get that. I agree.
Not just one that, you need a proper creator. I don't know if he's necessarily the guy.
Not him. Like, I'm not paying to go to the stadium to watch Bruno Fernandes play. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not paying to go watch Rabiot play. I get that, that's the issue. But I'm not going to the stadium to watch Bruno.
We all know it's Zaniolo anyways. Like, why even bother? It's Zaniolo, guys. We already know this.
But yeah, that was horrendous. Also because up to that result, I had no idea that Fiorentina had a game in hand. I had absolutely no idea. So I checked after the game. I'm like, if they win their game in hand against Udinese, which is very plausible. Again, Udinese is doing well, but they can win that. It's 4 points. It's 4 points, and we still need to go away to them on the last game. That's very worrying. That's like you cannot drop points to Bologna at home. I'm sorry, because next Monday we play Sassuolo at home. I will ask you, but I will say it. I'm not convinced we're gonna win there.
I just remember that first. I still have nightmares of that first Sassuolo game of the collapse. And I usually forget about this stuff like a couple months later, but the fact, I still remember where I was at the same moment because I wasn't home, right? So I have this ingrained in my head when I watched it, and I don't know. Maybe I'm afraid of the last result and especially coming off this Bologna. It's all going to depend what happens Wednesday. I think that's kind of it. If Wednesday well, then Monday should be okay.
We will transition into Wednesday because that's the Coppa Italia tomorrow preview, also with Davide, with me for the preview. Allegri's presser is at 2 p.m. my time, so I'm interested to hear what he's gonna say. If he's gonna downplay it,
oh yeah, then
he will get a lot. Like he needs to come out with his chest tomorrow. Like he cannot come out and say like the standard thing. It's a big team, Fiorentina, blah blah blah. Like everything can happen. No, like it's your job to not allow it to happen. Like you need to reach that final. Like there's no ifs and buts. If you don't reach final, like all hell will break loose.
This is his last real saving grace.
That's the title of the show.
He needs this.
Okay, so because you say it,
he needs it.
Let's say he wins it. Again, I said we're gonna win it.
Yeah.
But if he wins it, I said I think we're gonna win it. I still think the season isn't safe. What do you think? Like, let's say we win it, we scrape top 4.
I mean, that's what we've been preaching for the past little while, ever since we kind of determined, even though I think some of us determined sooner than others, but ever since we determined that the Scudetto is kind of out of reach, which it technically still isn't. But I think at this point, everyone's like, all right, it's out of reach. Let's get this Copa. Let's finish this top 4. I mean, we could, if we figure our stuff out, we can still technically get third, because we just saw Napoli just trash another game. So, I mean, yeah, give us something. This is it. This is what we got last year with a guy that didn't even have a coaching license when he started. So, by all means, yes, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm not taking it. Like, I've seen Pirlo with no license, just getting the under 23 jobs. A week later, he's the first team manager, doing the same thing.
It's
so
wild.
I'm not gonna praise Allegri, like, not at all. I think I
At this
am.
point, no.
I'm not, like, there's absolutely no praise left. Like, and I like Allegri. I've said it. I was not a fan of him coming back, because that's who I am. Like, once you leave,
but he's here now.
It's done. He's here now.
Yeah, let's show what you got.
Yeah. Okay. We won away to Fiorentina. I don't, like, we know how we won. I don't know how we did that. Like, that was the biggest robbery I've seen in a very long time. Like, we had absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
We won against Fiorentina like how Inter won against us.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Like, we had absolutely nothing. Like, we won. So good for us. 1-0 up. Again, no away rule. There's nothing. So 1 Fiorentina goal is extra time. Like 2 Fiorentina goal, one of us is extra time. Like that. So, again, we have the advantage. But, like, looking the way we play at the moment and the way Fiorentina play, with the players we are missing, I think that's key. That midfield on Saturday.
Midfield. Yeah.
If you want to call it a midfield, it wasn't a midfield. I don't know what it was, but it's going to be the same thing. Arthur is not back. Locatelli's not back. Maybe Zakaria will be fit enough to start. So,
hopefully, yeah.
So maybe that will change. Because, again, Danilo did a job, but he's not a midfielder. Like,
no, he's not. He doesn't have the legs either. Like, he's a bit older now. He can't necessarily be expected to play a central midfield kind of role. Even a defensive midfield role is asking a lot, you know? Those legs, yeah, he's too old. Keeping it right back.
Yeah, he was, like, on Saturday, I could see the things he was trying to do, but he just couldn't, you know? Like,
yeah, and God love him. Like, there's no disrespect there. It's just not his position. He can do it, and that's basically what he did. He showed up for that position, said, "Yes, coach, I'll do what you ask me." But that was it.
Like usually, like, I'm not saying there's creativity in our midfield, but on Saturday it was that. Like, it was like, it was just nothing.
No, there's nothing.
There was nothing.
No, there wasn't anything. Like, what did you expect from any of that there?
Like, watching that, I was like, okay, what's the point now? Like, what is actually the point? And Miretti had a knock, but he was fit enough to play. And I'm like, surely you're gonna do it now, because there was nothing. Like, up to the second, like, there was nothing. Like, I do not believe you're gonna hurt the team by playing Miretti instead of Danilo Quadrado midfield. I actually, like, that's impossible. Like, playing a midfielder or left back or right back in midfield, it's gonna be a difference, in my opinion. I don't care that he does not have Serie A experience. Danilo has Serie A experience, but he has no midfield experience.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I actually don't. Like, if this was Pirlo, Miretti would have had like 300 minutes by now. Looking at the state of our midfield, injury wise,
we probably would have. We would have Ravella, I think, even on our team right now. If
Maybe
Pirlo was still part of the project. Yeah, would have retained him over the summer. That would have been my guess.
Maybe, yeah. I can see that.
But regardless. But yeah, like, this is my tinfoil hat segment, I think, here, where Moretti, I don't really think he was that injured. We've seen this a couple times in the past where he's injured. I think that's Allegri kind of couple days before the match. Oh, yeah, he got a bit of a knock. We're going to take it day by day. And that kind of quells a bit of the pressure to play him. And that's all I think that was. He is so afraid at this point to just play anybody fresh and new. I don't know what it is. I don't know if his system is somehow so difficult to figure out
It's
that
not.
you need to be 30 years old to figure it out. I'm not sure. Or if it's just meant to be for 30-year-olds because it's so geriatric and horrible to watch that he's not going to let a 19-year-old in and ruin the party.
Like
It's one or the other.
there's actually nothing to ruin about that. Like it cannot, like knock on wood, but I don't believe it can get any worse than this. Like, because this is, I think it's rock bottom. Like you cannot play worse than this because you're doing nothing. You're coming on that pitch, and that's it basically. And like at some point, up to that last 10 minutes, we were just on that pitch for being on that pitch because we needed to be. Otherwise, it will be 3-0 Bologna if you don't show up. That's the vibe you were getting from watching that game. So
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It was bad. And if you were watching it live with us, you'd notice that we didn't even talk about the game really through most of it. We were just, nothing was going on. We were talking about everything else. We're talking about pizza.
I saw that. But okay, being Allegri, sitting on that bench, like surely, like I don't believe that for one bit that he's sitting on that bench and he's like, this is amazing, it's working. Like, come on, like you can, and he comes out after that saying we played a good game, like we showed resilience, and like I'm like, no, you didn't. Like don't lie, like don't make a fool out of yourself, don't protect it because it's on you. Like just say.
Oh, he was mad even. He took his shirt off. He was getting warm on the inside.
But I don't get it.
It's just his anger.
What is he mad about? Like it's his setup.
The team is.
Yeah, but like you played Danilo and Quadrado midfield. Like nobody asked that. Nobody asked you to do that. You did that. Don't get angry if you don't progress that ball up the pitch. Like he's getting angry with himself, but then he comes out and saying, "Actually, it was okay." Like, no, it wasn't. Like when we watched that game, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Don't take us for a fool.
This guy definitely does breathing exercises because like the 5 minutes between like coming in from the tunnel and going to the media box, like it's just a different Allegri. He's yelling and screaming and throwing his shirt 1 minute, and then he goes into the press box and he's like, "Oh yeah, this was cool. We did all right." Like, who are you? This is insane.
Yep, it's actually ridiculous because like I have the feeling that we're again giving it away top four. That's a feeling I'm like looking at the team the way we are playing at the moment. Cagliari, like we won, but we shouldn't have won. Like if you're being completely honest, we took a point from Bologna. I don't know how. Like up to that red card, we didn't deserve anything out of that game because we were.
It's Vlahovic, like you said, we bought Vlahovic to get the fourth spot just because he's gonna bullhead a couple more goals that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten.
But if we play like this on Monday, we're not winning away to Swallow. No chance. No chance. No chance.
Sassuolo wouldn't let us because they actually have.
They will win. Yeah, they will win. If we show up like we did against Bologna, they will beat us easily without any problems. And then you're in big trouble.
The only difference is that I think we can score against Sassuolo because they're not gonna block up.
I think they will outscore us. They will outscore us easily.
That's the flip side.
And if you don't win away to Sassuolo, let's say if you even pick up a point, that's not good enough. You're in serious problems with Venezia, Genoa left, and then Lazio, Fiorentina. You're in serious danger. You just need to hope Roma and Fiorentina keep messing. They're not keeping messing it up because Roma haven't lost in 13 games in Serie A or 12 games. Fiorentina are picking up points, wins, not points, 3 points for fun. You cannot afford like that. Drop points against Bologna was so unnecessary. And Bologna wasn't even great. That's the issue. Like they were not great. So imagine Sassuolo. Yeah, they lost to Cagliari, but that's who they are. At home, they will show up. They will be ready for us on Monday.
And they'll put an effort against the bigger teams for sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, interesting league table though right now from a neutral perspective. It's a lot more even than in previous years.
It's more trash.
For better or for worse.
That's like the league this season is horrendous, quality-wise. It's bad. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
People say it's competitive. It's not competitive. It's just bad. It's actually bad. But yeah, it's like the Premier League top four race. It's trash. Like it's absolutely trash. It's not competitive. It's trash. All of those teams are not good. Like with us, all of these teams are not great. Same in the Premier League. Like it's not competitive when you start dropping points against the 15 ranked team. Like that's not competitive. That's being awful. If you're in the top four race, but it is what it is. On Wednesday, okay, tomorrow's a preview, so I don't want to get into details too much because we'll do that tomorrow. But I think we all agree that we need to win that game. Like, yeah, you need to win all those games, but if you don't win on Wednesday, the negativity around the club, the pressure on the team, Allegri will be, dare I say, unbearable with the last 5
It
games.
would be, yes. If we lose this to Fiorentina of all teams, because they're a rival team that aren't really a great team, a team that we should beat. When we lose to Inter, we're like, okay, it was Inter, it sucks, but at least Inter have a good team. Like Fiorentina don't have a good team. We need to beat them. And if we beat them, the rest of the season, there's just going to be a lot less of a dark rainy cloud over everyone's head. Just do it. There's nothing else to say. Just win it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something tweeting out that the club didn't knew Del Piero was coming. I don't believe that. No.
Yeah, because there was like a Photoshop or photo shoot. Sorry.
Yeah, really quickly. Also because just a couple hours or like before the game, they figured it out. Like they set up everything, cameras, jerseys.
Yeah,
like
that makes
they
sense.
knew
Yeah.
something. They knew. I rate the source where it's coming from, but everything was prepared way too well to only knew it.
There's probably
hours
like
in advance.
yeah, there was key players in the organization that knew, but perhaps like the players or like the general.
Agnelli didn't know.
Nobody else knew.
100%.
Yeah, so there was like a marketing team.
He would
Probably
not
like
allow
a
it.
closed.
Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. He came back good. If Agnelli didn't know, even better. That makes him feel sick. I like it because he should be around the club. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Let me see. So I was saying top four is financial, okay, but you need more than that. Yeah, we know that, but we need the money. Hanin is saying Fiorentina have a better coach. I said it. At the moment, you cannot really put that up to argument, but like in general, no. Like he needs to prove it still, but he's doing much better when he came. I've heard Daniele doesn't like Del Piero. He doesn't. We all know that he doesn't like Del Piero. That's why he never came back until now, because he was not allowed to come back. And that's, you fill in the blanks. Otherwise, people will call me negative. But like that's not normal. Like, I'm sorry, it isn't. Like he's the club's biggest legend, probably. I would say he is, in my opinion. He is.
Yeah, he's in the top like 2 or 3 at the very least.
Like from recent history, like Buffon, yeah, but like most kids dream about like number 10, not about the goalkeeper. Like most kids.
And I'm gonna throw Baggio out there because like the more casual people, because he played international, so a lot of people know him because of the international side.
But like, he should be around the club. It is what it is. Like ban them, or like ban them, like not allow them, like being childish, because that's what it is. It's childish. The argument was, it was just a ridiculous argument. But yeah. So yeah, the Coppa Italia, we get that out of the way because we'll talk about tomorrow in more depth.
Yeah.
Because we have the presser,
absolutely,
lineups, all that jazz. So we'll move on to. We will go with Zaniolo first. He played today.
Big Z.
He didn't play well.
Yeah.
He didn't play well at all. He picked up an injury, not his knee. I think it was his ankle. Didn't really look great, to be honest. I hope he's not injured badly, because it looked a bit painful. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I missed that part. I was in and out of that game.
Yeah, I just had it on and it happened. I saw it happening. But he didn't play well. From what I've seen, he didn't play well. People saying Big Z. I'm gonna ban Justin for creating that.
Yeah, that's all him.
But I will ask you. Well, I will ask you the first question. Simple one, basically. Don't think about price, all those things. Nothing. Just forget about it. Do you want him at the club as your main guy? Not bench player. He's gonna be the main guy. He's gonna start week in, week out.
And he probably would, I would imagine. So when you say main guy, do you mean like the main guy or just a starter? One of the main guys? Because I would not build a team around him, saying like the main guy.
He will be.
But
the
to
main
have
guy.
him as a
I was going to bring him in to be the main guy. They're not going to.
But you got Delict in the back, Vlahovic up front, and hopefully like Milinkovic-Savic or something in the middle. But to say no, he can't be the big guy.
No, I mean the main guy in his position. Like he's going to start week.
Okay, in his position. Yeah, sure.
And he's going to give you double figures, assists, goals. Because that's what we need in the winger.
Nobody on our team's giving us double figures.
No, but that's.
I mean, if they are, they're struggling to get there, right? Like
you expect Chiesa and Vlahovic to hit that in all competitions.
Those two I would expect, absolutely.
Okay, but if we play in a 4-3-3, the guy on the right he needs to hit that also. Otherwise, it's unbalanced, in my opinion. Like you cannot have Chiesa hitting 10 goals, 12 assists, Vlahovic hitting let's say 9 assists, 29 goals, and then you have Zaniolo 3 assists, 3 goals. Like you cannot have that because he's gonna handicap your team.
Yeah. And that's one of my concerns is okay, he wants to do 4-3-3. That's where we think he's going. That's where he's gone in the past. Is Zaniolo really the guy you want for that system?
I don't want him. No, I don't want him.
Like I want to. This is just gonna frustrate me right now because we have Dybala, and we're not using him correctly.
Because he cannot play as a winger. Like he can't.
So I don't know. Like yes, I want Zaniolo. One side of me says I want Zaniolo. It doesn't really make sense the way Allegri plays, the setup he plays. And here I see Anthony's the guy. I mean, and we love him too, the way he plays. But again, Allegri. It's just right now. Maybe it's because of this block in my head that doesn't matter which name you give me. You look at the system that Allegri plays and you're just like, no, won't work. Nothing works. Can't do it.
Yeah. Today there was news that Milan were in the race. They're not going to pay 50 mil. It was like they're not going to go exceed the 30 mil mark. I'm like, okay, they're out. So it's just us at this point. I'm just hoping he signs a new deal with Roma and that we're done with it because he's not that guy. When I watch him play, I'm like, I don't see it. Like I don't see you coming in and you're like, wow, you changed the team. You know, we're competing again week in, week out. I don't see that with him. I don't. He moans a lot. That's something that frustrates me a lot. He moans a lot.
Yeah. He got his fifth. He got another 5th red card today too. Just to point that.
Okay, it was a ridiculous one. Like, it was a foul on him, and the ref said no. He was getting treatment, and he did like.
It's probably the reputation too, though.
Yeah, but he did like he did nothing. Like he just come on, get away.
Yeah.
Signal, but not.
I know, and that's frustrating.
It was pointless to give him a yellow card for that. Like I hate when refs do that. But when I watch him, I'm like, that's not 50 mil. Like I'm sorry. Like
no.
And if the club actually thinks he's like the Juve are actually thinking about offering 50 mil, they're ludicrous and it's kind of scary. That tells me basically, you guys still have no idea what you're doing. Like if you're spending 50 mil on that output, then it's just, again, in my opinion, it's based on he's Italian, he's young, he knows the league. You're paying 20 mil extra for that. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, you kind of, I wouldn't say, okay, 20 might be a bit much because is he a 30 mil player? He's definitely a 30 mil play.
Yeah, definitely. Just because based on talent. But when I watch him play, I'm like, he's not 35, more than 35. I'm sorry. Like, you're not.
I guess when I look at it, because he left the Locatelli deal, and that's worth about 35.
Yeah, but he was
So,
on his peak, Locatelli. He just came up from a great Euro. Like,
yeah.
Swallow could do that.
So like that's where I would see Zaniolo. I would see him 35, maybe because the position he plays, he can command a few more million, maybe up to 40. So that's kind of like where I would top up. If they're going anywhere past 40, now they're making a bad deal.
Okay, but if they want to get him, it will be over 40. Roma are not gonna.
Well, then they're making a bad deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like injury-wise, output. Like that's my main issue. Is output. It's not great. Yeah. It's not great, and we need output. That's what we need because we have Bernardeschi, no output. We have Kulusevski, no output. We have Dybala. Yeah, he's our top scorer, but like he's not the winger, so he's playing different position. So if he plays on the wing in a 4-3, like there's no output. Like we need a player who comes in and has output. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Who can get that ball to Vlahovic also, who can beat this man consistently, like Chiesa.
And that's the other question: do we need a guy that's putting up goal numbers, or do we just need a guy throwing up tons of assists? Because if he's got,
I will take both. Like he needs to find a balance. Like
if he gets like 4 or 5 goals, but he gets 15 assists,
I'll take it.
And he's just feeding into the box constantly. Like,
I'll take it.
If we've got 2 out-and-out goal scorers, then yeah, absolutely. Like that's who we need. We need that creative playmaker, somebody wide.
Yeah.
But then we get these attacking midfielders linked to it. So.
People are talking about Milan new owners. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
They have less money than the current owners. I will say that. So.
They're supposed to be injecting 300 million euro, is what the news is.
They have less money than the current group that owns Milan. Maybe they will invest more money. That I don't know. Maybe yeah, but I don't care. Like I'm a Juve fan, so whatever. I think they're in their 4th owner in like 5 years or something. Must be a record.
Yeah, there's that instability.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing to look positive on our ends. At least there's a level of stability.
They're above us now. That's kind of insane. But yeah. So Zaniolo. To be honest, it kind of cooled down a bit in terms of rumors.
Yeah.
Like it's not like 50 mil the club's gonna pay. Yeah, they're going for it. They don't care 50 mil. Now it's like, they're gonna lower the price. Milan are they want less, offer less. Roma are not certain about a new deal. He's not certain. Like it's all up in the air now. It's not certain.
The other thing I'm looking at is that this week has 2 Copa games with 3 of the biggest teams. A lot of the attention in the media is diverted towards the 2 Milans and Juventus right now, and I guess Fiorentina, for those who care about them. But like the media, for the most part, that this is just what they're going on about. So they've cooled off a bit on the transfer news because they have something tangible and legitimate now to talk about for this week. Next week is where we're going to hear all the trash again.
Yeah, but to be honest, also the previous weeks, like it's not the same anymore in terms of they're actually pushing it, saying the club is going to pay it because they want him. Like it's not the same anymore.
I still hear, it's the primary target though.
Yeah, but like not for that money. That's what you hear. But the problem is no other names are coming out. Yeah, Anthony, but not from a really. And nobody's really pushing it,
No, not.
It's like
just Zaniolo is the only push name. It seems to be in that position.
It's like Rudiger. It's Rudiger, like in the back. It's him. It's him. Then you can hear some names here and there, but like you hear those names once and then you move on, But the name
it's almost as if they've made up their mind. It's like we're gonna get Zaniolo, we're gonna get Rudiger, and we're gonna get Pogba or SMS.
I don't believe that.
Those are the names.
I don't believe that, by the way.
No.
It's
with Rudiger or the midfield.
With all 3. Like maybe you're gonna get one, but like they don't have 3 names. Like it's always the same because it's April.
But no, that's what it seems like though. I'm not saying that will happen necessarily.
But in June you will wake up.
That's what the news is.
In June you will wake up and you will hear Justin talking about names he cannot even pronounce. Because that's
well,
that's what it is.
Pronounce the easy ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he calls Zaniolo Big Z. He cannot even pronounce Zaniolo, I think.
And I know I'm not perfect at it either, but it's just fun listening to Justin try to pronounce things. He's just very American about it.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, like it's still early, It's still early. Let me read some chats because I've not seen. Um, Jeremy saying Savage is the guy we need for assist 2 plus some goals, not Zaniolo. Yeah. Dan is saying we better sign Anthony. He's only worth 35. That's a steal. I think Ajax will ask for much more than 35. I don't believe it. I think it will be close to 40 plus, plus bonuses. But yeah, let me see. Whether we like it or not, the club and Allegri will choose Zaniolo over Anthony because he's Italian. Yeah, that's worrying. It's actually worrying. Like that should not be. How do you want to call it?
It shouldn't be a criteria.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a criteria. Like I don't get it. Like it's like FIFA building an ultimate team. Like all same nationality, you get better. The lines they line up green better. Like it's really not that deep, but
which is when I did that too. Like when I played FIFA in that mode, I was like, this is the dumbest mechanic I've ever seen. Like, what are they thinking?
Yeah.
This is not how this works. Like, I'm sure it has some bearing. It does, but not like your team is this magical cohesive unit now because they all came from the same country. Like we all know people from Milan are gonna yell at the people from Calabria because they're just a bunch of dirtbags. I mean, every country does it to their own people. So like it doesn't make any sense.
I've said it many times. I don't care what the nationality is of a player. Like I actually don't care at all. Like, can you play? Can you help me win stuff? Can you help the club win stuff? Yes, good. Like I don't care where you come from.
Where I do see it is like, especially if it's a new young kid, he just came in, say from Brazil, and he doesn't know the language, he doesn't know the country. He just left his home for the first time, probably never even been on an airplane, and now he doesn't understand the thing. Yes, if there's another guy to guide him with that, speak his language, absolutely, yes, that's definitely a thing. But just to make a team all from the same country isn't necessarily.
Like the player needs to be quality. If the player's quality, good. If he's Italian on top of it, great. I get it. But if he's not, like you don't need to force it. Like paying close to 30 million for Fratesi, like that's actually ludicrous. It's ludicrous. I've watched a cup final between PSV and Ajax yesterday. I watched Gravenberg play. I'm like, he's going for less than 30 mil. Fratesi's not on that level.
Yeah.
He is not. No. He's not even close. Not even close. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
But even if you got Fratesi for like 15 mil, nice bargain, whatever, you get a good price on him.
For me, that's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. You have Miretti, just play them. But yeah.
At least give them a chance to prove themselves. At the very minimum, put them on the field for half a game.
I agree. I 100% agree. I've said it many times on the channel. On Olifant saying after Bernardeschi, they didn't learn from mistakes. So scared to trust Juventus last 3-4 years. Yeah, it's hard to trust them. And in January, I said, okay, I see something positive. Like you pay for Vlahovic, you get Zakaria, a small, yeah, fee wise, but like a smart deal. I'm like, okay, I see positive. You get rid of Betancourt, which we needed to do. Kulusevski, I wish we kept him, but I understand why we moved him on. They were ready to pay. He was not working with Allegri, so I get it. But I prefer to keep him. It is what it is. But now I'm like, Shilo 25, Quadrado 24, 25, Rudiger, Zaniolo, Jorginho. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, and maybe I'm completely, like, maybe the media is completely wrong. Like, and in the summer we were like, it's Badashile, it's I'm just throwing on it. It's Anthony, it's Savic, it's I don't know, whoever. And I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. And at that point I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna believe the media anymore until they have some concrete news, But at this point it's like all the names were
you shouldn't really you shouldn't really believe the media to begin with. Like you gotta really go through the media with a fine-tooth comb on a good day.
I'll go off what Romeo says, and he's saying the same things. Like he's repeating the same names. So if can we not even trust Romeo anymore? or we just
They're all valuable though, right? Like he might have an off day, he might have some misinformation. It's just, yeah, he could be wrong. He's usually right, sure, but
on all the names.
is he? Is he? You don't know until it happens, right?
Yeah.
Or doesn't happen.
People say he was wrong on Dybala. I don't think he was wrong. I think the club agreed terms and the club said, "Nah, screw it. Like, we're gonna change it."
Yeah,
So it's not
was that.
like, yeah, wrong, but like he wasn't wrong at the end of the day. Robert said, "No, there was no bust up in the locker room. I cannot believe people are believing it, but whatever."
Yeah, so what was that source? The whole...
It was no source. It was just a Twitter account with less followers than.
Yeah, so it's just some random...
Yeah, it's fake.
Nobody
It's fake.
essentially is what that was.
It's just fun. Let me see.
I don't know why people have to go out of their way to like fabricate slander. It's just like, what kind of person are you to just fabricate?
No, but I think it was a joke. Like, I think it was obvious a joke, and people were just tweeting it, and some take it serious.
Maybe, yeah, I suppose, but it's so hard to tell too. You just throw that, it gets retweeted, thrown all over the internet.
Yeah, I get that. And Nina's saying Romeo was wrong on Vlahovic. To be honest, everyone was wrong besides Fabiana De La Valle.
Yeah.
Everybody was wrong. Everyone.
Which goes to was it YFG says he's puts trust in Roberto Beni and Cherubini. I mean, with what they did with Locatelli, the way they pulled off Vlahovic randomly, man, we might have all of this wrong.
Yeah.
This whole, like, the past month of us talking about whoever could be a complete waste of time. Like, we could be looking back in 6 months from now and be like, we were dumb. What were we talking about?
Yeah. And Dash saying it might have been slander and fake news, but we had some fun in the group chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what the group chat said, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that's Zaniolo. I think we'll skip it for now because we will talk about it for a long time. I believe.
A long time.
Yeah, I believe. And Julian is looking forward to do a coach's corner on Zaniolo. He told me he's already prepared to to hit that record button. Everything is set to do that. We will move on to, I don't call it news, but it was Monday, holiday, so there's not real news in Italy, like no newspapers, everybody is not working, so tomorrow we will hear more stuff. Yeah. But it's the Savic link. So I think it's obvious that he's one of the main targets. Not saying we're going to get him, but he's the main target. And now it's obvious the price is high. It's obvious the relationship between Agnelli and Lotito is... There's no relationship. There's there's hate, just pure hate. That's it. So I'll say that. So it's clear that for the journalist, the story's gonna be the money is too much. So we need to find a way, and I mean the journalists, we need to find a way to make it drop by including players. Who do we can include? Arthur, he's not going Lazio. No. McKennie, he's not accepting Lazio. So who's left?
And this is wages too.
Yeah, who's left? Rovella, Fagioli. Okay, those are the two names. We talked about Rovella. I said, yeah, do it. Include him in the deal if you get Savic for less. 100%. Like, Fagioli was today's news saying Sarri was basically impressed by his growth with Cremonese, and he could be part of the deal. I was like, okay, but his contract is almost done. What is gonna knock off the price? 5, 10 million? That's already pushing it. 12?
Yeah, I suppose. Really, how much are we looking?
Lotito's not valuing Fagioli at 20 mil. He's not doing that. So that's that. I think it's like easy.
10 mils tops, on the high end. Which...
So, they're just throwing out names out there now and hoping one will stick. Yeah. Because that's probably the way the Juve want to go. But I don't believe Lazio will accept any players in the deal. They just want cash. Like, it's obvious they're pushing out, for me, fake news saying Manu are in the race, are leading the race. They're not. Like, if you hear Manu sources speak, they say the club is not even interested. Like they were interested when Mourinho was a coach, but that's it. They're not looking at Savic. All those news, and it's coming from Rome-based newspapers. They're pushing it. Manu are the favorite, and then when you hear Manu sources, they're like, "Nope, he's not even on the list, not even close." So you know what's gonna happen. Like, they're gonna say we have that offer on the table, but in my opinion, they don't have. You know, so I will ask you the simple question: would you include? Forget about what he would knock off the price. Would you include Fagioli in the Savic deal?
I don't want to lose Fagioli. I think if there's one youngster that we're gonna make something out of on this team currently, the way things are standing, is probably Fagioli. Like Ravella, we've discussed both of them before. That Ravella's more ready. Fagioli's the longer term option. If we want Italian players, if we want young, successful midfielders, and we have one that we can throw money on, why is this the one we're getting rid of? Especially when we're talking about, realistically, probably about 5 mil in around that range. Is it worth it? I don't personally think it is.
That's a good point. And answering Joseph's question, no, it's not. I have 5 inside sweaters and a lot for outside. These are my inside ones.
He's got inside and outside sweaters.
Yeah, just put them on, throw them in the washing machine after the live, and I pick the next one for the next live, and then it goes on and on. So that's that.
I only have so many sweaters too, and it's cold in my basement. So yeah, I guess I wear the same like 5 things.
Yeah, for the lives, yes, because it's easy. But going off what you said, you make a good point. Is it worth it in terms of if it's 5 million? It's not worth it. Just pay the extra 5 then. Like if that's really the stumbling block, 5 million, then oh boy. Like if you cannot pay an extra 5 or whatever, then and you need to lose a player who's kind of highly rated, even within the club, to be honest, then it makes no sense. Because I believe, like you said, 10, Lotito's not gonna say, yeah, we will take Fagioli and we will value him at 20 mil. Like, they are not doing that. So, I agree with you. Now, if Lotito say, yeah, 20 mil, I will be saying, ship him off. Like, he still needs to prove 20, it. Sure. He still needs to prove it. Savic proved it. He's not playing for us. Savic will come on and play for us, you know? But like you said, like you made a good point. Like if it's 5-10 mil, is it really worth it? So yeah, Joseph saying I'm not wearing Juve jersey or a Juve merch. I did once, the blue one, but I don't put on jerseys. I don't. I'm not that guy.
I don't wear my jerseys either. They just hang on the wall.
Yeah, I have them when I play some indoor football. I wear them, and that's it. Because you sweat them then, so I'm not wearing it. It's the worst kind of material to wear if you're not playing any sports.
It's actually not really comfortable just to wear a jersey.
It's not. I was saying, he's asking me, do you honestly think Savic is better player than Pogba? No, I never said that. I said Pogba is more talented. In my opinion, he is more talented. I don't think there's debate. In my opinion, there's no debate. You know, but with his injury record, age, Milinkovic is 2 years younger. His injury record is kind of spotless, you know. Pogba's injury record is kind of fishy, you know. So I'm like, that's why I said go Savic. Plus, I'm not a fan of bringing ex-players back. So that's my reasoning behind that.
When I think you can argue either one pretty effectively. Comes down to personal preferences, really, and if you put the financial aspect into play. Like personally, I prefer SMS. Just as like a person, as a player, I would put him on my team. Like if I was creating a team, I would have an SMS before I'd have a Pogba.
Okay.
Because I know SMS is going to put the effort in. Is going to, even if he's having a bad day, he's having a day where he's going to fight for it. Whereas Pogba is going to rather go on his Instagram account.
Jesus. That's fair. Like it's preference because, like, just unlike Zaniolo, nobody knows why, but he likes Zaniolo. It's preference, you know. A lot of people don't like De Ligt, I like De Ligt. Like a lot of people don't like. I
Okay,
don't.
like who doesn't like De Ligt though? Like that
Oh, I
that
saw some weird stuff after the game, like absolutely insane stuff. But it is what it is. He made a mistake, but the mistake
sure.
started earlier. Like the midfield was like I had that for a podcast, but I don't have the pictures up now. The midfield just let I don't know who that was from Bologna drive with the ball, and the Lake was like, I need to step up. My issue was he hesitated for 1 second, and that was a mistake. Like if you step out, you just go for it. I don't care, make the foul. You cannot hesitate. He hesitated for 1 second, and that's where he, messed up. If he just went straight for it, I think he had that ball. He was pointing to Chiellini, but Chiellini had his guy and the Lick's guy, so he was like a no man's land. It was a mistake. I get that. I'm not an idiot.
Had a talk. They talked
Yeah,
afterwards.
it was a mistake.
Quick glimpse.
Like it wasn't.
Chiellini kind of did like the upset finger wag, like the upset father thing, and De Ligt kind of did like, "Oh, I screwed up. I don't know what to do."
Yeah, it was a mistake, but a mistake starts very early. It starts with the midfield just being bypassed for fun, and people like Rob, you're just looking at it and letting it happen. So that was the main mistake, But it's what it is.
Yeah, and that's a pet peeve I have too, especially in replays. You usually see it a lot when somebody scores a goal, but you didn't see that guy grind it out in the defensive end to win that ball and get it forward. It's the same when you get scored against. Don't look at just the defensive play that last 5 seconds. Look at maybe how the midfield just gave it up in the final third, in the attacking third, with a crap pass, and it all came back.
Yeah.
Crumbling back towards your goal. Like you can't just look at things in isolation.
You're right. Like 100%. But like I'm not an idiot. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, he didn't make a mistake. He did make a mistake. And I saw people.
Made a mistake, though.
I saw people who have time enough on their hands, like taking print screens of apps. I'm like, that's kind of sad, but whatever. To push an agenda, like we lost, and the blame is going to we drop points. The blame was going to the Lake. If you watch that game and the takeaway is the Lake, then you have a serious issue, or you have an agenda. One of the two. Like it's one of the two.
Or you're looking at things in isolation. You're not actually watching the game as a whole.
Like the season, like for me, he's been our best. He's been our best player of the season, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
the most consistent one.
Like I wouldn't even argue that. I would just throw De Ligt down. Done. Conversation over.
Wait, who else? Like Locatelli? No.
There isn't anyone else.
There is nobody else.
there just isn't.
It's not gonna. I'm not gonna say, oh my god, because the season has been crap. But like, he's not the issue. Like, if you're now at this point in the season, you're starting to look at De Ligt as being the issue. Then oh boy.
Oh man, you're fishing. You're just looking for a scapegoat, and unfortunately, that's just not the one.
It's not. It's probably the last player you need to go and hammer on after what I've seen this season from 23 different players.
He puts up a mad amount of minutes too.
Yeah,
hard minutes. Like it's not like he's the striker that just kind of hangs out for half the game waiting for the ball. Like he's grinding it out week in, week out.
And that's
sometimes twice a week, right?
Yeah, and Khalid made a point I made during Saturday's live saying even if the defense is bad, you can still outscore them. That's our problem. Like normally, like in a good season, you're up 2-0, maybe 3-0, and then that happened. Nobody blinks an eye. It's like, yeah, they conceded, but like we create nothing, and everything the opponent creates looks even worse now, because in a game where you're like, let's say you have 10 shots on target, you're 1-2-0 up, they take a shot on goal after a mistake, after the game, everybody's whatever, but now it's like, it's this moment, it's that moment, so everybody's watching it, and everybody's making, like, all mistakes are being looked at even more now, in my opinion, which it's fair. At some point, like it's fair, it was a mistake. But I also remember him blocking shots away to Atalanta in the first half. We could have been 2-0 down in the last 5 minutes, and he kept us alive. And he kept us alive many times this season.
The amount of time, like if you want to talk about things in isolation, you want to talk about the times he just steps off his line to put a foot in, on like an attacking midfielder. Just that alone like he's making his wage up.
Yeah,
It's insane that the amount of just, and Chiellini obviously as well, the amount of times those two have just stuck a last minute toe in and saved the game
I agree.
just by that.
I agree. But it is what it is. Some people need to run their weird agendas. I was being told, I've been told over the weekend that Dybala is a better player than Del Piero. So, and he was that serious, that guy. And then he blocked me.
Oh yeah,
Before I could have responded. So I cannot even find that account because people were asking for his Twitter handle. Not that I was going to give it because he will get hate. But things happen. Weird things happen on that app. Yab is saying, he's asking us if the club signs Milinkovic, so the Fiorentina guy, Jorginho, Raspadori, Savic, Wijndal, and Zaniolo, and the right players leave the club, will you be satisfied with the Mercado?
That's a pretty decent list of names.
Yeah, but
that are not completely unrealistic.
Like Milinkovic is realistic. Jorginho is, but I don't want him. Raspadori, I'll take him. Savic, I'll take for sure. I even take Wijndal. I'm not taking Zaniolo. I wouldn't be over the moon. I wouldn't be over the moon.
Look at that, Joseph Carvalho, 6 months. There you go.
Yeah, 6 months. I'll put that.
Like the video of Ali. Like the video, and Ali won't be negative about you. I think you.
No, I will be negative. I will be negative. That's not going to change. And Dominique,
you can't change it.
No, if we start winning,
you can't change Ali. He is who he is.
No, yeah, I'm not negative. This was. I also praise the good things. Like I praise Rabiot. Like, nobody praised Rabiot on the channel besides me. But yeah, nobody's pointing that out.
You had that was
That was my highlight.
Yeah, and even Justin was like, no, like everyone else was eating on him, but you were like, no, he had a good game. And I that was the same game I was yelling at Rabiot. You were literally the only guy.
Which game was it? It wasn't the Inter game. It was a different one. I remember it.
Oh man, this is a couple months back now.
But I thought I was wrong, so I went to Romeo's player ratings, and he hates Rabiot. Like he hates him with a passion. And even he was like, he played great. So I was like, okay, it's not just me.
No, once you explained yourself and I went back and looked at it, it's like, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't
some pretty decent
Pogba level performance or something like that.
No, but it wasn't as bad as what we thought it was.
Mr. Dyke is saying, will you take Nkunku or Bernardo Silva? Now, I'm a big Nkunku fan, so is Julian.
Yeah.
But I'll take Bernardo Silva because I just love him. The way he plays, I just love it. He's so good. He is unbelievable. And he's leaving Man City probably. We're not going to get him because he wants to go to Spain. But if there's a slight opportunity to get him, you need to bounce big time because he is that guy. He will make us play better no matter who the coach is. Even if it's Allegri, he will make us play better.
He's going to be fairly pricey too, I would imagine.
Is
there any numbers on him yet?
As the VGG, they use Transfer Market. They will probably know. No, I don't know. You can check. I don't know what his contract situation is because he was leaving in the summer and then somehow Pep convinced him to stay because he was gone. He said he missed his home country and stuff like that. He said he didn't like the rain in England and stuff like that. I don't know what his deal is.
I would want to live in England myself. But so he doesn't want to go back to Portugal though. He wants to go back to Spain.
Portugal. He wants to go Spain, not his home country. Why did I say he prefers Spain?
Which is a lot more like Portugal than England is, that's for sure.
What is his deal? Do you have Transfer Market open?
Yes, so he's currently at 82.5 million value. Contract expires June 30th, 25. So he's got 2 months.
Yeah, we're screwed. We're never going to pay.
So he's still going to be probably at least a 60.
He's worth that money, I'm sorry.
Oh, I would say he is, yeah, but you're going to have to pay. And then his salary.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Maybe we can give him Danilo back.
Yeah.
They won't take him back? No.
Do they give his yearly salary on Transfer Market anymore?
No. You in the past they did that, like years back, but they removed that because it was not really.
It's too complicated.
Yeah, it's not. Accurate.
Yeah, all the deals, the add-ons.
Yeah. But yeah.
Especially since it's just a guy that does this on the side on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, like on a Saturday morning in the basement, just changing some stuff and then going on a city trip with his family. That's what he does.
Yeah.
It was actually funny, I'm not gonna lie.
That was pretty funny.
That story should be saved, in history books because it's unbelievable. Guy is saying 50 mil. Yeah, Mr. Dex. Yeah, so he will be around 60 mil, but he's worth that. I'll have to play. I'll have to watch him play. Like, if you tell me Nkunku is 50 and he's 60, then I'll take Silva. Because I know he has done that for a while now. Whilst Nkunku is doing it for 2 seasons. And especially this season. Yeah. It's a big standout, Mr. Dax is throwing even more names out as Darwin Nunez or Anthony. They're 2 different players. Like, one is a striker, one is a right winger. But that Darwin Nunez, he reminds me of Cavani / Suarez. I don't know, and yeah, he's Uruguayan, but not that. Like, the spirit, the way he plays football, physical, keeps going, his eye for goal, it's actually impressive. I'm not gonna lie, it's impressive. But we have Vlahovic, so it's not needed. It's not needed. United Fire saying Bernardo Silva doesn't start at Serie, though. He does. He starts at Serie.
Yeah, I think he's 94% in the starting 11, according to this Weekend Warrior website again.
He starts,
yeah. He plays 90% of the minutes.
Yeah. He starts 100%. He's the main guy.
He's playing.
Because De Bruyne is not playing well this season. He's picking it up now, but he's not playing well, De Bruyne. He's the main guy in terms of he's making that team take. That's him. I like Bernardo Silva, but we're not getting him, by the way. It was a question from the chat, so...
Actually, here's a question. I've heard his name, De Bruyne. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. How would you say it as a Belgian? What's the correct pronunciation?
De Bruyne.
Bruyne?
De Bruyne, yeah. Yeah. You said that
so
right.
So it's like... Yeah. Okay. I know I'm probably not 100%, but close enough. There's a Canadian broadcaster that said his name, and I wanted to turn the channel off. It was bad. Like Justin. When you're talking about the best midfielder in the world, you should know this guy's name properly. Just say it.
Yeah. He's up there with the best. He's not having his best season, to be honest. He picked it up now.
No, but he could arguably be rated the best midfielder of this generation. Like, you could say that.
He's regardless. He's one of the best.
He's somebody who you know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, he's one of the best of his generation. No doubt. Yeah. I think nobody will debate that. He is.
So you should know how to say his name. That's basically the point I'm getting at.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So we discussed everything. Yeah. We discussed Fiorentina a bit, or like what the Coppa Italia means for us this season, what it could mean for us. Zaniolo, Fagioli / Rovella / Savic, we discussed that. That's not my national. I don't get it. Your national team and my countries are in the same group. Yeah, my country where I'm living. Yeah, but I don't support Belgium. I don't believe Justin.
His team isn't in. Unfortunately, I took down all my Italy jerseys. They're all Juve jerseys.
Oh my god! Yep made a comment. I put it on the screen, but I shouldn't read it out, to be honest. With all due respect, I actually think overall Bruno Fernandes is better than Kevin De Bruyne. I hope you're just baiting me. Actually, hope you're baiting me because I like you, but he's not. It's not even close.
De Bruyne is more of a complete player. He's better on more levels.
It's not even close. Like, it's actually not close. Like, I've watched De Bruyne play when he was 16 over here, where I live, when he burst onto the scene, and it was like, this is different. Like, it's actually insane. Then he went Chelsea, which was a mistake. With Mourinho, he sent him away. It was a mistake. But when he went to Bremen, Werder, and Wolfsburg, it was like He's too good. It was obvious. Like, he was way too good. Then City, Bruno Fernandes. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not paying a ticket to watch Bruno Fernandes play football. I'm not. It's like me paying a ticket to watch Rabiot play with better output. You know, I'm sorry. I'm serious. I only think so. Plus, I grew up watching Man U. They're my favorite. Okay, that's it. That explains everything.
I mean, they're both great players. Like, you can definitely have a personal preference towards one.
I will not call Bruno. You will never call. You hear me call Bruno Fernandes great.
I'm more like Bruno is way better than KDB if we're only talking about hairstyle.
People,
that's a guy.
People see his stat, and that's what people do now. His stats, they look great. Not this season, but overall they look great, and people are like amazing. When you watch Bruno play, you're like, what the hell is he doing over here? Like, he's moaning for 90 minutes. He's giving like his friend. Like, you need to watch his pass accuracy.
So he's playing like a Portuguese guy then.
Yeah, like sometimes his pass, not sometimes, most of the time, his pass accuracy is ridiculous, shambolic. It's crazy. Like, if you have a player like Den Haag, I have no idea who's gonna cope with it. He gives the ball away for fun, like actually for fun.
And we already have players like that.
Yeah,
Vlahovic being one of them, unfortunately.
And yeah, I'm saying who changed the club more upon revival, Bruno or De Bruyne? Yeah, Bruno, but Man U was shit. They're still shit. So it's not difficult. De Bruyne came in an already great team. Bruno came in an awful team. It's still awful. And he scammed them and believing like they gave him 250K a week. That's ridiculous. Like, that's actually, I cannot believe it. When I read that, I'm like, it's unbelievable. Like, he scammed them. I'm sorry, because he's not a 25K. And again, people say Rabiot, Ramsey. Yeah, they scammed us. Like, I know it. You know, yeah. I know. Like, you don't need to bring it up. But when I watch Bruno play, I'm like, he's not a top player. I'm sorry. He can have all the output he wants in the world. When you watch him play with your eyes, it's horrendous to watch. I'm sorry. It's actually horrendous to watch. And even Man U fans are finally seeing it now. So I was like, I'm not the only one. Even the most positive fans are like, this ain't it. You know, you can have the output, but when you have a coach like Den Haag, you will be benched. If Van de Beek comes back, Bruno will be benched, in my opinion, with Den Haag, because he likes possession-based football. Like, Bruno cannot play that possession-based football. He can, but he will have absolutely zero output then, because he's not precise with his passing, with everything. But there's not a Bruno or Man U channel. But yeah, I'm never gonna rate Bruno, and especially not above De Bruyne. That's crazy. Right? That's actually crazy.
See, I keep on getting them mixed up for a while there. I thought we're talking Bernardo Silva versus
no
De Bruyne.
No, if you say Bernardo Silva against De Bruyne, I still think De Bruyne is a better player. But I will like,
but it makes more sense. But that's like, I'm thinking about the wrong Portuguese midfielder.
Bruno Fernandes with De Bruyne, no.
Yeah, no, there's definitely something different now.
It's not a Man U channel, but I'm not gonna run that. But yeah, I think we will end with that discussion, the Man U discussion. To be honest, we have a lot of Man U discussions on this channel, especially when Julian is up. I don't know why, but it happens.
I only like them because I hate City more. Just gonna throw it out there.
I don't like it. I'll throw that out there. They're all, they think too highly of themselves.
Oh, they do. It's just just because I hate City, I need their City counterpart to pull a little weight.
Okay, and I'll give Yap one more shot, and then we will wrap it up. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate Zaniolo as a top player, because I can see why Justin likes him, but he isn't a world-class player. As a top player, now at this moment in time, 5. You can, if he fulfills his potential, I will push it up to a 7, 8. But for now, at the moment, what I'm seeing this season also, 5, maybe 6.
Justin's also trying to play a bit of the hype train too.
Yeah, but he actually...
Okay, you got to get excited about something.
Yeah, but he gets excited by the wrong things. About the wrong things. I don't get it.
But let him. But he's so cute when he gets excited, though. Just let him do it.
But yeah, you can rate him before we wrap it up.
Zaniolo, yeah. I mean, what we're seeing, he's probably pushing out a 5 or 6 with a potential of an 8. But how often do we see that 8? We saw it, I don't know, when he got that hat trick against Bodo Glint. Yeah, like a team that I almost forgot what their name was. So, not to trash that team, but come on. Like,
yeah, you cannot hype that up. I'm sorry.
If it's gonna be like Immobile, where he'll score if it's a trash team, he'll score 3 of them, which is great until he shows up against somebody that actually matters, and then he's non-existent. Like, that's what I don't want to happen. Yeah. And Zaniolo's kind of that guy. This is how I see him right now, unfortunately.
That's the issue. I think that's the issue. But we will wrap it up for now. If you haven't watched Justin's daily video, he talked about Zaniolo. You can check that out after this, so in a few minutes. Again, if you haven't done yet and you're considering doing it, joining the members club, like Davide, Hanin, all those guys, you can join the Discord members chat. You can come on the channel, giveaway priorities, all those stuff. That's what you can get, but especially the Discord chat. That's a fun part. And coming on the channel. Also soon, especially in the transfer season, things are going to change. There will be exclusive videos for members. Nothing's going to change on the channel. So daily videos, everything's going to be the same, but it will be extra stuff for members who support the channel. If you ever consider doing that, link is pinned in the comments, and you can click just the button underneath this video, I think. I'm not certain. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to thank Davide for coming on a holiday for me.
Oh, thanks again, as always. Yeah. Even easier when it's a holiday.
It actually is. So I don't need to thank you, so screw it.
Yeah.
No. Thanks for coming on, because you will be back tomorrow for the preview. So tomorrow will be the preview for the Coppa Italia semi-final against Fiorentina. It will be at the same hour, I think, because I have a longer day, so I need to get back home and make the graphics first. So tomorrow, live preview and a daily video from Justin. I don't know what time it will be. It will be a bit later because he's out of town, but you will see when it's up. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Ciao.